whole life, I always knew I was special. Even with no remainders, I could always move a decimal. Money on my mind while the girls that made un beso. Hustlers in my blood and it's running through my vessels. Just trying to clear the threshold, just trying to make a way. In my race against time, I could see an early grave. School to prison pipeline, 12 years a slave. Suspension and detention is conditioned for a cage.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is, will Deontay Wilder fight this year? And it's a shame that TBE is on a plane headed somewhere we don't know, whereabouts unknown. But we're gonna turn it over to Conspiracy G. We probably would have had a push-up bet on this, but TBE's not here. So Conspiracy G, will Deontay Wilder fight this year?
2022. Yes, he has to. I don't think he could afford to take another year off. If he takes another year off, then I think his career is done. You know, because he could return, but he'd be too rusty. Too dangerous at the elite level of the heavyweight boxing. So I think he has to come back, man. Like, it would have been nice to actually see him on this undercard between Fury and Dillian White, you know, but I don't think they could afford to have him on that undercard, but it would have been dope nonetheless, because he could have introduced himself to UK fans, you know. But nonetheless, I don't see Al Heyman not putting Wilder back in that ring. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You know, he still generates money, you know, and he's still an exciting fighter. So people want to see, hey, after that Tyson Fury beating, are you the same Deontay Wilder? So regardless whether it's a big name or somewhat of a tune-up, I think he's going to be back in this ring in 2022.
All right, Troll Dog Bill.
The grudge match that you didn't want to see. Deontay Wilder and Ortiz 3.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Yeah, we see him in there. We got him, like with everything G was saying, man. I agree. We definitely got to see him in there. Not with a top name, with a lesser name. Maybe even do it again, a third time. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want it the second time. You know what I'm saying?
But we really don't want it the third time.
You know, but put him in there with somebody, you know, feed him to somebody for the confidence booster. You know, but definitely not a tough go around. And yeah, I definitely think we'll see him. I think it will be good for his confidence and for his career.
Well, I would put out a name. I know y'all gonna look at me crazy.
Better put out a name, man.
But I honestly think Wilder should fight Andy Ruiz this year. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a pay-per-view fight that's going, I'm telling you, it's gonna generate money. And Wilder, because AJ already showed the blueprint on how to beat this guy. You know, Chris Arreola even showed how to beat this. Well, he didn't lose, but I mean, he didn't win, but he showed how to actually be competitive with Andy Ruiz. Wilder has the frame and the reach to stay out of distance to actually do some damage to Andy Ruiz. I'm just saying, you know, that would be a great fight for Wilder. But again, I understand what Trill's saying, because, you know, it's always safer to go with a tune-up. But if you're trying to make some money, trying to do a pay-per-view, holler at Andy Ruiz's team. That's it.
You know, Al Heyman's still going to do a pay-per-view.
I know, it's going to be a both fight and a pay-per-view.
Him and Adam Kalnansky on pay-per-view. Facts.
Yo, I'm going to be honest with you, man. This is a close one. I don't necessarily think his career is over if he doesn't fight this year. I think really Wilder should take the year off if he's not completely confident that he's fully healed and that he's the same guy. Like, he needs that time. He's in a vulnerable position, I feel like. I think he's in a position where he took a beating. His body needs to recover. But then there's the psychological damage that needs to be repaired, where it's he invested in a narrative of he was cheated. He went into a fight, had the same thing happen, and so now he needs to kind of sit back and look at himself and say, does he really want to continue to pursue this? Because in the end, Fury's moving on to fight Dillian, and he's going to move on to try to pursue Undisputed. And Wilder used to be in that discussion. The question is, does he believe he can still be in that discussion? And there's a way for him to still be in that discussion. So I think he should do whatever it takes to just come back better. For me, I'm going to say he fights this year, but I think he should fight someone like F.A. Ajagba. That's what I think he should fight. F.A. I think Adam Kalinowski is a good pick. Let me see who's out there. You know, Jerry Forrest is a respectable pick. Jerry Forrest drawed with Z, and he just drawed with Michael Hunter.
I was about to say Jerry mess around and win. On points, bro. I said Jerry will mess around and win on points.
Wait, G, you worried about Jerry Forrest, G?
I'm not worried about him at all. I know Wilder will violate him, so I'm not even worried about him. Like
I'm saying, that's a respectable name right now. Jerry Forrest, a respectable name after his draw with Michael Hunter, his draw with Z, and Wilder, you know, Wilder sparks him out. That's a good confidence boost. It's like, look at Wilder, man. He draw with Hunter, he draw with Z. You just smoked him real quick. How about Z? The dude who the dude from China who Eddie Hearn is. How about him?
That kind of asthma attack in the ring.
He's fought since then, bro. He's fought since then. And won.
Nah, man, he ain't built for Wilder, bro.
I'm just saying, man. I don't want Wilder to step in the ring.
If Wilder steps in the ring with Z, we eating Panda Express. You know what I'm saying?
You know that's American Chinese food. That isn't even real Chinese food.
Man, it doesn't matter, man. I'm making a joke, man. This guy got to be all technical. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is we would be still eating American, bro. You're supposed to be giving us Chinese food.
Hey, man. Food is food. You know what I'm saying? So all I know, he's eating food. If y'all bring that dude in,
why can't you just say like General Gao's chicken, man?
Hey, man, like that. You know how the mind works. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Yo, listen, man. I'm sorry. You're the chef.
They sell General Gao at Panda Express. You know what I mean?
All right. Hey, all right. We're moving on. I do want to see Wilder fight again, but I don't want to see him in there with an Andy Ruiz. I don't want to see him in there with even a Joseph Parker right now. I think his mind state is fragile right now. And this isn't a Deontay Wilder thing, and this isn't to knock Deontay Wilder, because this has happened to champions throughout the history of boxing. You take a L, you give them a tune-up, you build their confidence back up, and then they go back for another fight. And it's worked. So I just don't want to throw him in there with, say, Andy Ruiz yet. But we'll see. I'm going to say, yes, we see Wilder at some point in time this year.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
These are just jokes, people. We're just joking. You know what I mean?